I've been itching to take a look at some of your potato setups that you submitted on my Discord. It's been 2 months since I've done a last video, so with that said, let the roasting begin.
Before we continue, I want to give a huge thanks to the Lord of the Rings Rise to War mobile game for sponsoring today's video. There is so much hype around this game right now. The Lord of the Rings Rise to War is a strategy game. You can use different strategies to achieve your goal, like selecting different skills for the commanders, as well as matching the proper army to your commander to win battles across the land. Not only do you need to communicate to other factions with strategies, but you also need to use your wisdom to occupy Dol Guldur and claim the ring. You can expect to find classical characters like Aragorn, Legolas, Sauron, and even myself, Gandalf, in the game. But there are more actual characters from the Lord of the Ring lore like Radagast the Brown. So what are you waiting for? Download the game for free by using my link down below and start playing with millions of players today.
Alright, so this is where we left off last episode on July 20th. We're going to continue exactly where we left off. DC MadJack8U was the first person to submit, and I have 2 questions for you, my guy. Number 1, where the hell did you buy that contraption of a desk? And number 2, why is the TV up so high? That location of the TV just makes no sense. That shelf is in the way, it's blocking off a portion of the TV. I feel like if you get rid of that shelf in the middle and just mount the TV against the wall or even to your desk, it will look so much better. If you need storage, you can just use the bottom half of the shelf. It's obviously currently not being used, so whatever you have on the top, just move it to the bottom of your desk. I don't understand who even made this desk. This is not functional whatsoever. Also, -2 for the cringy exposed RGB strips. I'm giving this setup a solid 3 out of 10. You know what, I'll pin this setup anyways, and I'll pick the 5 worst setups at the end of the video, and you guys will vote, because the top 3 of the worst setups from today's video will take home $100 cash each. I'm feeling a little nice. Usually it's $100, but this time I want to give away 300. All right, here's an interesting setup from Shining. Oh my God, this actually looks like the same desk that my grandmother's using. Both of you are using the same exact desk. The only difference is she doesn't have any RGB strips or RGB products. And the freaking laptop is on the floor, dude. I just noticed that. Really? Oh, no. You don't want to put a laptop on the floor. I mean, it's got a cooler underneath it, but still. You got plenty of space on the right side of your desk. Just buy like a vertical stand for your laptop and put it over there. Why would you put it on the floor? It makes no sense. To be honest, if I can go back in time, I would have given this setup to Philip. 2 out of 10. Okay, see, this is clever use of space. When you don't have the countertop space, what do? You stack. You buy a shelf or you build something that adds layers to your setup. Libra's setup is the perfect example of this. You know, he could have put the printer on the floor, but why would he when he could put some type of table on top and put the printer on there? It's not great for earthquakes, but you know, for convenience, definitely checks that box. Other than that, there's not much else going for the setup. There's barely any mouse space, unfortunately. And looks like he's using some type of storage organizer as a monitor riser for the display. But yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. It's a 4 out of 10. Oh my God, what are those speakers? I've never seen tall speakers like this before. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy bought 2 soundbars and just put it side by side. That's actually quite genius, if you ask me. So it looks like it's a laptop powered setup. Unfortunately, there's no dedicated spot for laptop. It's leaning over the tabletop and looks like an Alex unit on the left side. Again, picking up a super cheap vertical stand for it will look really nice on your setup. It'll also free up a lot of space, and you can use that extra space on your Alex unit. Also, if that's how you use your tablet, that is extremely uncomfortable for your neck. Just constantly looking down like this while you're using it. Pick up a super cheap $2 or $3 stand that works with smartphones, that works with tablets. You can get the tablet at an angle, also further away from you. You can glance at it and use it as a second monitor too with your PC. Other than that, I do see some random holes in your desk. Looks like a bottle of lube on your desk lamp. We all know you're not getting any with this type of setup, but overall it's not cluttered and it's not like super messy. It's organized. It's somewhat organized with decent cable management. I'm gonna give this setup a solid 4 out of 10. Okay, this one has some questionable choices. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know what I'm looking at here. He mounted his TV or his monitor up against the wall, but then we have a corner shelf on the left side. I feel like the choice to mount the shelf in the corner affected the ability to mount the monitor. he didn't want to cover the shelf. So he kind of put it up there to make space for those 2 items on there. But why? Wouldn't it have been better to not put the corner shelf and lower the TV or monitor to a more comfortable height? I feel like that was a very bad decision. On top of that, he's got cringy RGB strips on the exterior. You always want to hide your RGB strips. You don't want to see them. The point of the RGB strips is to give you a nice glow, to give your setup a nice glow. And he's playing Fortnite. I just saw the screen, so that explains the RGB strips. Unfortunately, this is a really good contender for the $100, but unfortunately his name is in white, which means he got banished from this realm or he left, which makes no sense. Why would you submit in the potato setups if you're gonna leave the server? You could have got $100, my guy. That is very unfortunate. Oh, it's a console powered setup. Okay, that actually makes more sense. And then I don't know what that is, kind of rolled up in the back here underneath the desk. Looks like a poster fell down and he just didn't even care about it. But yeah, this is a solid 1 out of 10. A very good contender. Unfortunately, I can't pin it because he's not even in the server. But yeah, thank you for submitting. Oh wow, what happened here? What is going on over here? The specs aren't bad. He's rocking a 3070X. I'm guessing he meant to say 3700X. And we have an RX 6600. Actually, the specs itself is not bad. I would say this is more like a sleeper build in a sense. Really old case, but we got modern parts or updated parts in here. Unfortunately, it looks like the setup has been bombed or something. I don't know where on earth these pictures are taken. And it's unfortunate too, he's banned from the server or he's not in the server anymore. My God. We recently hit a milestone on the server, guys. Over 32,000 bans. How hard is it to follow instructions and just behave? People think just because they can get away with nonsense in other servers, they can do the same thing here in the TechSource server and get away with it. Well, I got news for you guys. You can't. You can't break the rules. I think we'll get 40,000 by the end of this year. What do we have here? The world's smallest setup on the world's smallest desk. It's not even a desk. It actually looks like a nightstand. Oh, actually, if you look closely, you can see the rails on there. So it looks like it was a dresser, a very small dresser of some sort. And she took apart the drawers in order to make room for her legs. Pretty smart, actually. Diary of Bella. We have an HP Pavilion, Diary Bella. HP Pavilion gaming laptop, Ryzen 5 5600H with an NVIDIA RTX 3050, so not bad specs on the laptop. I think the most impressive thing about this setup is despite the lack of space on the desk, she made everything work. Everything's organized, all the gear has its own dedicated spot, it's within reach, and she even streams with this setup. You have a dedicated webcam with a ring light on the left side, and we can't forget about the Fortnite mouse pad, which is a very essential part of every Twitch streamer starter pack. I also like that she took advantage of the outside of the desk as well. She added some containers and some holders on the exterior to kind of hold her smartphone and lotion and a bunch of other things. So really, really good use of space here. And there's even a dedicated side table for the printer. I'm definitely pinning this. This is a good contender. I really hope you do take home $100. Diary Bella, thank you for submitting. Okay, this one's a pretty cool setup. Very good use of space with this loft bed setup. So, oh, it's your brother's? This is my brother's setup. My setup ain't potato, and he uses it for school and gaming. We both love your channel, so I decided to surprise my brother when he sees the video. Why didn't he submit himself if he loves the channel? If he loves the channel so much, he should be on the server, right? Something doesn't add up here. So my main concern with this setup is the location of the monitor and where the chair is. It's not comfortable at all. Even if you do roll the chair over to the left side, you got a massive printer underneath you, which you can't even use to put your legs in. So you're sitting at an awkward angle, or you're kind of like away from your desk while you're using your PC. Honestly, a very simple and easy mod would be to remove this center divider or support that you have underneath the desk and install 1 or 2 IKEA legs. At least that way you can move your printer to the other side and you can put your legs through that hole and sit comfortably. That's what I would do for ergonomics. Other than that, it's not a terrible setup. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I'm not gonna pin it though because your brother didn't submit himself. So either way, thank you for participating. Okay, now here is an actual submission, you guys. First and foremost, thank you, Ahmed, for sending in a complete submission. Look at this, guys. He actually broke down everything just like he was submitting for a regular setup or submission. And for that alone, I am pinning this. So you're already a contender in the top 5. So thank you for taking your time and actually putting in an actual submission. The setup itself is definitely a potato. I'm surprised the PC is still running. How has this not exploded already? AMD A4 3400 APU with an ATI Radeon HD 5450. For the power supply, you have a Chinese Tiger branded one. I know it's dangerous, but I hope it explodes and Why would you write that, my guy? You hope it explodes? Oh my God. Look, I know you're joking, but you should never joke about stuff like that, okay? I mean, be thankful you do have a setup. Other people don't even have setups, so yeah, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, my guy. I think the worst part about this setup is definitely the desk. You can tell that there is no pull-out drawer, so if Ahmed wants to use the keyboard and mouse, he has to stick his hands in there. So he definitely has to memorize all the keys because he can't see half the keyboard, unfortunately. And there's not enough space for the mouse too. That is very unfortunate. Some generic controllers, I got like 5 of them working. Too bad I don't have friends. Oh well, they wouldn't visit me anyways. Ahmed, are you okay, my guy? This sounds very depressing. I hope you're good. Check your DMs. I'm gonna send you a message, man. I gotta make sure you're good. And screw your friends, okay? If your friends are visiting you because of your setup, are they really your friends? If I'm ever in Egypt, I'm gonna visit you myself, okay? But as far as your setup rating, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found ourselves an architectural masterpiece. Noah has built himself an epic setup using some cardboard boxes, or some monitor boxes in this case. I don't know what's more funnier though, the fact that he's a Seahawks fan or the fact that he's using a $250 240 Hertz monitor with his PS4 Slim. Yeah, something definitely doesn't add up here, unfortunately. He's got a metal chair and a dream. My guy, you are living the dream. You have a $250 240 Hertz monitor. Are you kidding me? A lot of people wish they have a monitor like that. You're not even taking advantage of that refresh rate with the PS4 Slim. I think your priorities weren't set straight, unfortunately. I think this entire setup encompasses the term console peasant. This is a 1 out of 10, just because of your choices. Speaking of cardboard setups, look what we have here from PXT. Oh, unfortunately, his original desk broke and this is what was left of it. So we have a tiny little side table for the peripherals, and then we have an Amazon box and a PC case box in the back to hold up his monitor. My guy doesn't even have a boom arm. The microphone is just chilling on the desk like that. Oh man, that's gonna pick up a lot of keyboard noises. The chair, it looks horrible, but it is super comfortable. I mean, it might be comfortable, but you have no leg room, my guy. So how comfortable is it really? You're probably sitting like a crab. Well, there is some good news. Looks like PX actually found a job, so he's gonna be looking forward to applying for Setup Wars in the future. So we do have a happy ending. Very nice. Setup itself, 2 out of 10. Okay, I don't know if this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen or if this is the smartest thing I've ever seen. Cutting holes in your box to make room for you. What? This is smart. This has to be the smartest thing I've ever seen. Right? No one ever thinks to cut holes in their box to make room for their feet or their legs. This is genius. This is peak ingenuity, ladies and gentlemen. He even taped his paper mouse pad to the cardboard box so that it doesn't move around. Like, it's genius. This guy is honestly big brain. I think I speak for everyone when I say that we're very interested to see what type of setup Elliot can build when he actually has a pretty decent budget. So Elliot, if you do ever save up some money and you build yourself a setup, please send it in for Setup Wars because we're very, very interested to see what you can come up with. Also, what's a WFW setup? I know WFH is work from home, but what is WFW mean? Can someone let me know in the comment section? I'm actually really curious. So here we have another Floor Gang setup. What the hell are you watching, my guy? What kind of fetishes are you into? Like, honestly. You know what's interesting? This guy spent money on a new mouse, apparently, a Glorious Model O mouse instead of getting a desk. Again with the priorities, man. You guys have some weird priorities, honestly. Screw a desk or even a chair, right? As long as I can play on my new Model O mouse, that's all that matters. 1 out of 10. Oh my God. You don't even have to tell me where this setup is from. It's definitely from Florida. I feel like Hurricane Ian definitely paid a visit here. I feel like the problem here isn't the setup at all. I feel like the problem here is your lifestyle choices. If you don't got the common sense to clean up your area and throw the trash or the garbage in the bin where they belong, then I feel like you don't deserve a setup. At least clean it up before you send in the submission, right? Like this submission has 0 effort. It might even be staged, actually. -1 out of 10. You gotta do better. Hold up, wait a minute. We have another floor gang setup over here. Well, not necessarily floor. He does have a food tray that's holding up the monitor, keyboard, and mouse. And looks like the microphone is just laying on the mouse pad. There is no boom arm for it. What's so confusing about this setup is that I'm assuming you're sitting underneath the food tray, you're putting your legs underneath the food tray, but you're so close to the wall, it's gonna hit the wall. So how do you actually use this setup? And it says here that you're 5'9". How is that possible? You're way too tall for this type of setup, my guy. Also, I don't have Wi-Fi, so I use my mom's hotspot. He uses his mom's hotspot. That can sound very weird off context, but I think it's very wholesome that your mom is letting you leech off of her data so you can fuel your Minecraft addiction. The setup itself, I feel like is missing a nice desk. You got the gear for it, so I feel like if you get a nice cheap IKEA desk, you can go up to maybe like a 5 out of 10, but now it's a solid 2 out of 10. What in the dumpster fire is this? I refuse to believe that this is an actual submission. There's no way my guy's using his mom's ironing table for his setup. What? Who's this from? Zekro? Oh, he's not even from the server. This was another freaking good contender. Look at the emojis. Oh my lord. Oh, fake. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I mean, there's no way. This is basically a couch gaming setup minus the couch and setup. A Chinese mouse that I got from a market. This is the type of person who would go grocery shopping from a gas station. My father's 20-year-old Toshiba monitor from when he was in university. I think he meant to say from World War I. This thing looks ancient, my guy. Might as well be a fossil. Oh my God, that's an actual PC. I was wondering what that was. It's missing the side panels. It's got all the guts just kind of hanging out there. I mean, it's good for airflow, but it's gonna pick up some dust pretty quickly. The more I look at this setup, the worse it gets for some reason. Like this guy's using 1/4 of a Monopoly board as a mouse pad. Wait, that's not, is that a Monopoly board? Anti-Monopoly. Anti-Monopoly? Is that actually a thing? Wow, there's actually an anti-Monopoly board game. That's the first time I'm hearing about it. That's unfortunate. The setup is a solid 0 out of 10. It would have been a really good contender for $100. Yeah, it's unfortunate. All right, that is all the potato setups that I can take in today. Here are my top 5 worst setups from today's video. Please click the link below and vote on the worst setup. The top 3 will take home $100 in cash each, and I'll be announcing that on my Discord server, so make sure to stick around. If you guys have a potato setup yourself and you want to participate, make sure to toss it in the potato section on my Discord server. Links to that will be down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.